This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.
Good Hornaday dive to the bottom to make it side by side for the lead.
Side by side, Ron Hornaday on the bottom, up into the wall. James Buescher in the wall.
Brian Scott with him.
The 16 of Brian Scott and that Albertson's Toyota Tundra, and the caution flag comes out for the first time today.
It almost looked like they got hooked together.
And I bet you the truck on the bottom, Buescher, got a little bit sideways. I was just waiting for that to happen. We've seen guys dance around quite a lot.
Right? Oh, yeah. Oh, that hit hard, though.
Man, a lot of damage to both of those trucks. There's James Buescher's Max Force Ford. Tremendous amount of damage, as well as the 16 Albertson's Toyota.
Another look. Here was 3 wide. Kyle Busch to the outside, and this was earlier when it looked like Kyle was going to get into the wall.
Then there's a little bit of contact with the 6 of Colin Brown.
51 break the air. Great problems on the racetrack.
There's Hornaday involved.
Hornaday, as well as the 60 of Stacy Compton, and into the wall. It looks like the 07 potentially of Chad McCumbee.
Hornaday's going to get away without a lot of damage, Phil.
Yeah, that's Delana, truck owner right there. Stacy Compton, tremendous amount of damage to that Safe Auto Melling Toyota. Hope neither one of those guys was speeding, but here's how this incident started here.
Oh, wow.
Down to the bottom of the racetrack.
Looked like McCumbee.
That was actually, Hornaday looked like he got on the inside of that yellow line, and it sent him up the racetrack.
McCumbee cut across in front of Hornaday. It took Hornaday's angle away. He's the racetrack. One of the few trucks that'll do that. He and Colin Brown. Oh, no!
The 15 of Eichler gets into the back of the 24 and sliding back in front of the field. And now we've got a couple other trucks that have tied up.
Got clipped.
Man, Skinner did an awesome job missing that crash.
David Starr in the 24, Johnny Sauter in the 13, caught up in this. The 15 of Eichler, it looked like he had to chase that truck up and got back into the back of the 24.
David Starr came out of it okay. Eichler comes out of it.
Ron Hornaday. So Ron Hornaday will be back on the lead lap.
You can see here.
Now, watch the 15 of Brian Eichler. He's going to slide up the racetrack, make contact with David Starr in the 24. Now look at all the smoke. We can see Mike Skinner. Mike Skinner couldn't see anything but smoke.
He clipped the 24 truck a little bit, it looked like.
Got through it. You see the 30 made some contact, or had some contact made from the 13. Just back under green flag conditions. Kyle Busch in front of Colin Brown, and that actually is a pass. I had mentioned earlier that Kyle won the race.
J.R. Fitzpatrick, around he goes.
In front of the traffic. He slides into the wall. Let's see if everyone stays away as he tries to keep it
Pretty hard.
in the middle of the track. Sure enough, J.R. Fitzpatrick, a lot of damage to that race truck.
Remember, new tires full of fuel. That's when these trucks are typically good.
Hurt.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys, man.
That's when these trucks are going to be probably as free as they're going to be, Michael. Yeah.
So the 5th.
Racing side by side with Terry Cook. Terry gets on the outside of JR. He goes to cut under Dennis Setzer, and it's just going to take the wind away from him a little bit. Phil made a bit of an abrupt move down to the inside of Setzer.
Driver's side barely avoided Jared Fitzpatrick as he slid back up into the outside wall.
Anytime you hit.
Racing, they have had success with so many different drivers. Greg Biffle won 16 races. Mark Martin has won 7. Carl Edwards won 6 in this series. Kurt Busch also won 4. Problems at the left rear of the 13 of Johnny Sauter. He's trying to hang on to it.
Got a left rear flat.
Right or left?
Man, you can see what a handful that is, Phil. He's just trying to get back to the pit. Going at that speed, though, he's going to tear the tread off that left rear tire, which could cause a caution.
There's a battle for 5th. Mike Skinner just got by Ron Hornaday for the 5th position.
That's an awful aggressive speed to be running there with a flat left rear tire.
He may even spin out at that speed. Look at him completely sideways.
Trying to hang on to it. I'm sure Kyle Busch is hoping that he would spin out. He's able to keep it down on the bottom of the racetrack on the apron. Now he's going to try to get onto pit road.
I believe he's going to make it without putting any debris on the racetrack, so Colin Brown's folks can breathe a sigh of relief.
Here was a great battle for 5th. Mike Skinner in front of Ron Hornaday.
Both these trucks with some pretty significant damage.
A lot of damage.
But still slugging it out here on the racetrack.
It is a prize fight for those 2 veterans.
Skinner takes away the 5th spot. That's a big deal, getting the top 5, and he just took it out of Ron Hornaday's hands, and now Hornaday's got to deal with Taylor Moss and Timothy Peters, who are right up on his tailgate now.
Coming up on 2 laps to go for Colin Brown.
We've heard Kyle Busch say, I've got nothing for that 6. There's Jack Roush on the left side of your screen. Again, could be the 50th win in the Camping World Truck Series for Jack Roush and his organization.
Just think about this Colin Brown kid, what he's accomplished lately. 2 out of the last 3 races has been in the lead when he's had trouble. Great runs for this guy.
And then he finished 3rd last week, which matched his career best. But 2 laps to go. Look at Taylor Malsom get by Ron Hornaday for the 6th spot.
Taylor Malsom up into the 6th position. A great run for that 81 team. Ron Hornaday, even with all the damage, still holding on to a 8th spot.
That Taylor Malsom has only been out of the top 50 1 time this entire season. Coming down for the white flag for Colin Brown. One more lap.
The white. You have a couple slow ones up here in 1 anyway. One more time.
That's a relief right there. At least he knows if the caution flies, he's won the race. So he's got a big enough cushion over 2nd. He can just run 3/4 speed over this next lap and win this race. Getting the white flag was a big deal for that kid. We'd heard him talk earlier about his restarts. He didn't want to have to deal with that.
And he's not going to have a restart.
He's definitely changing history in the Camping World Truck Series at this racetrack. No one has ever started outside the top 10 or outside the top 11 and won this race. 12th, the starting position for Colin Brown. Can he bring it all the way home and all the way to victory lane? Coming out of turn number 4, the final lap.
Race, buddy.
There you go, buddy. Good job. Awesome, man. Way to go.
We said he could run that last lap 3/4 pace and still win the race. He was the fastest truck on the track by 3/10. He could taste that checkered flag, couldn't he?
And how about Mike Beam? I mean, Mike Beam has been around with Mark Martin. He was around with Travis Quamble. He was around when all these guys were winning these races in the truck, and that calm voice came on and said, Colin Brown, you just won a truck race.
He has so much confidence in Colin Brown. And conversely, Colin Brown knows that Mike Beam knows what to do. That's a great combination. There's Jack Roush. There's Hal, the team engineer. What a great job by these Roush Speedway guys. And again, we look at Jack. We know what it means to him to win here in Michigan.
Huge, huge accomplishment for Roush Fenway to get back into victory lane at this very racetrack. It's the 5th time a Roush Fenway driver has won at this race in 10 races. So
This copyrighted telecast may not be reproduced, retransmitted, or used in any form without the authorized written consent of NASCAR Broadcasting. NASCAR would like to thank all of our loyal fans for your continued support, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast.